Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, The Day the Earth Blew Up. Is this movie any good? First full-length animated Looney Tunes movie. It's 90 minutes long. Why is this PG? Let me tell you what I think about it coming up next. Big movie weekend, lots of movies, a Soderbergh movie, A24 movie, but the only one my theater was showing, well, it's a local small town theater, is this movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up. So I went just to see it. One reason is because in the past few years, positive development movies, I think a lot of cool art kids are getting to sort of run amok with animated movies like the Spider-Verse movies, Puss in Boots 2. There's been a bunch of, I think, really thoughtful good ones. I think Flow, the Serbian movie that won animated feature this year at the Oscars. There's a bunch of them that are interesting looking, and they have, I don't know, maybe a little bit of something to say to us. My thought and my wish for this movie was it was going to do the same thing. You could go manic insanity. You could do all kinds of art styles with this. It could be wild. It could be interesting because the tradition of Looney Tunes, certainly the best of it, and some of that featuring Daffy Duck, is just that kind of thing. But oh no, I mean, the first bad sign here, there are 5 writers. It's always a worry on my part when there's more than 2 writers on a movie. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but there's no unified vision, and that is indeed the case with this movie entirely. We'll get to that in a minute, but the plot is Daffy Duck, Porky Pig live at home. They had Farmer Jim, their sort of caretaker, go off into the sky and leave them a house. So they have a house, but they have a home inspection. Home inspector says there's a hole in your roof. Well, that's an alien invasion kind of thing. Okay. And then they go get a job. They fill out a bunch of jobs, but they get a factory job at a gum factory. But then an evil alien is going to poison the entire Earth's population using gum and turn them into mindless zombies, and it's up to Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and Petunia Pig, who Porky's got the hots for, to stop them. Well, there's more to the movie than that. I mean, you're going to get to the blow-up part, and it's a dad joke that involves gum, but I don't know. There's chewing gum in this movie, and the alien is using chewing gum, as I said, to turn people into zombies. This is as innocuous as it could possibly be. I think they're trying to play it safe. No political messages, no nothing messages. There's no industry they could offend here. The gum industry, I don't know who chews gum, but apparently in this movie, everybody does this. Everybody turns into a mindless zombie. In a way, this is a timeless movie. I don't think that's a good thing. They could have brought this movie out in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, take out about 5 or 6 contemporary jokes about boba. And at one point, I think this was an inspired moment for 30 seconds. Daffy Duck and Porky Pig try to be influencers. But if you take those moments out, this movie could play in any era. It's got some 50s stuff in it, and I don't know, that makes it kind of bland in my opinion. Now, the 5 writers thing, let me tell you a couple writing tips. First of all, this movie has maybe 50, 60, 80 moments where you got something happening on screen visually, and then it cut to a character, and the character reacts and tells you exactly what's happening. They'll react with a reaction like, that was crazy, that was wild, that was the greatest gum flavor I've ever experienced. And this happens so often, I feel like the script treats the audience as dumb. Now, maybe that's what they're going for, dumb people, but that's not a good audience to aim for. And I think everybody who's watched the Cartoon Network, Avatar: The Last Airbender, I mentioned Puss in Boots 2. I mean, these work for all kinds of people across all kinds of levels, but you really want to hit the intelligent or semi-intelligent or thoughtful people at some point in time, or a thinking viewer. In this movie, look, I realize it's Looney Tunes, but people like their manic nonsense from Looney Tunes, and this one doesn't even have that. It's a little bit slow. So the 5 writers do not work together. Whoever wrote this and then decided to repeat verbally, using a verbal line, telling us what we just saw, you do not need to do that. Stop doing that. It's very annoying. Also, this is the kind of movie that doesn't know what jokes to tell, so it will repeatedly have characters, well, I should call it orifice humor, liquid orifice humor, characters spitting liquids at other characters. How many times did that happen in this movie? And then you've got spaghetti slurping, pizza gulping, things going in and out of mouths. Of course, the gum chewing, the aliens in the mouths. I mean, there is a mouth or orifice fixation in this movie. It's like the only joke or only ideas that they have. And that, of course, with Daffy Duck spitting all the time. So I don't know why. Again, I think their intended audience was for people who are thoughtless or mindless. And my thought when I'm watching the movie, this probably would work better if you're in Colorado or Washington and ingesting a substance watching this movie, because at least at that point you might actually laugh at it, or have fun with it. But me, well, I don't use those kinds of substances, so I want to be a thinking adult here. This movie was not for me at all. It's also the kind of movie where, of course, it's an apocalyptic movie and they're going to use alien invasions, asteroids hitting the Earth, zombies, the kitchen sink of science fiction ideas, and of course, I mean, how could they have thought of anything else? They're going to use REM's "It's the End of the World as We Know It" and play the entire song. Of course, duh. Who's ever thought of that before? So I'm sorry to say, I don't think this movie is going to be for adults. I think most adults are going to be annoyed by this or walk out when they have their kids or 6-year-olds or 8-year-olds who might enjoy part of this or have never seen some of the science fiction tropes in this and they see it for the first time. It's kind of fun. But mostly adults are going to get annoyed. Of course, wish this movie were better. I have great expectations for all movies, but alas, here we go. What do you think about this movie? Let us know in the comments, and please subscribe to this channel for more great content and honest reviews. Thanks, and have a great day.